What's up everyone? The 5th episode of the challenge Vets and New Threats has officially premiered and we have lost 2 more contestants. We've got so much to talk about, so welcome to your challenge breakdown. Right before we get started, if you are new around here, make sure you hit the subscribe button. I'm here every single week breaking down the challenge and giving my thoughts and opinions on all the shenanigans that happen in the episode. I also do Big Brother Live feed updates every single day of the summer, plus I'm covering Bachelor in Paradise with the amazing race coverage coming very soon. So if you don't want to miss a single thing, hit the subscribe button. I'm also going to ask you all to hit the like button. It takes all of 0.2 seconds just to click that little button down there, that little thumbs up, and it helps me out more than you even know. But without further ado, let's chat about the challenge. Alright gang, how are we all doing? What an episode that was. I am really thoroughly enjoying this season of the challenge. You know, if you've only been tuning in for a couple of episodes, this is the first season of the challenge that I'm fully watching through, and I am so hooked. I love how competitive all these people are. I love the production value. I love the personalities. It's great, and we lost one of the great personalities at the beginning of the episode. Cara Maria had to leave the game due to family issues back home. She said it was serious, so she had to dip and walk out the competition. I was very sad to see her go. Cara Maria, even though I don't know much about her, she has grown on me a lot over these first 5 episodes. I just think she seems really badass. That's the kind of vibe I get from her. I like how 90s she is. You know, I'm a 2002 baby, but I've got a deep appreciation for a lot of that cool, 90s stuff. And Cara Maria just screams 90s. You know, her aesthetic, her look, her attitude. Very sad to see her go. But I understand she's a veteran and that she's competed so many times. So I have no doubt in my mind that she's going to be invited back. But I was sad to see her go. I want to see more of her. I'm going to throw it to you guys right now and say, which seasons of Cara Maria's are the best? If you would recommend it to somebody who's new to Cara Maria, which season should I go back and watch? Because I really enjoyed her. Very sad to see her go, and I'm sending her well wishes, hoping that everything is okay with her and her family. Now with Cara Maria leaving, Leo was left without a partner, but not for long. TJ announced that somebody else would be coming in. He brought in an all-star. I didn't recognise who she was, as I said, because I haven't seen many seasons of the challenge or any before this one. Who am I kidding? And this person was Jonna, and she seems like a hoot. I really like her a lot. Can't wait to see what she does more. But I couldn't help but feel like it's a very tough position to be in. Imagine, any of these social games like Big Brother, Survivor, people bond, from day one, and they'll latch on to people. And they get a mindset of where they think the game's going to go. I'm working with you, I'm working with you, I'm working with you. And those people over there, I wouldn't touch with a 10-foot barge pole. And then all of a sudden, somebody else gets dropped into the game. And that's hard. That's really hard to navigate. I don't know. I don't see her necessarily making it far because she won't have the connections. But then again, I ask myself, if she's an all-star, she probably does have those connections. I don't know the Venn diagram of who's played with who, but I can only imagine that she's got those all-star connections. But in terms of this game itself, this just solely looking exclusively at this game, I feel like she's got a leg down from the rest of everybody. But I don't know, it also, is it like production saying, hey, there's another vet, so the vets don't get steamrolled? I don't know, because it balances out, with Cara Maria going, but I had a lot of thoughts going through my mind with that one. But I like her on a personal level. That was the primary feeling over all of the game things. On a personal level, I thought she seems nice. I like her. I want to see more of her. I really do. And Leo, I like a lot as well. Let's talk about Leo for a second. I was sad because when Cara left, I was thinking, oh, he's going to just be automatically thrown into elimination right now. But he's sweet. He had such a positive attitude about it as well, because he turned around and he said, I get it. I don't harbour any negative feelings towards Cara Maria. And I just thought that was very sweet, because that's a tough thing to be in. And judging by the personalities in this house, I don't think everybody else would have been the same way. I think a lot of people would have gotten riled up over it, or gotten annoyed, or thought this was selfish, but which would have been a kind of a dick move, if I'm being totally honest, because that was important. She had to go home. Family is more important than everything. And what I found fascinating about Cara Maria was how there was one outlook she had that I loved. So when I'm watching these shows, a lot of people struggle when they come into these things and they go, I want to go back home. I want to go back home. Cara is the opposite way around, whereas she literally said she views the challenge as an escape from reality, which I adore. You know, escaping reality to go to a reality TV show. That is like a great mindset in a weird way. I'd never thought about it like that, but the fact that the challenge is kind of a career path for so many of these veterans, it allows her to just detach from reality for a second. And so many people take the game way too seriously and get their feelings hurt and everything. But Cara, I just felt like Cara Maria had this business-like approach to the game. And I love that. Like, I think of Sandra from Survivor. You know, when Sandra ever comes out to come and get another $1 million, because that's what happens, she says, you know, this isn't pleasure for me. You know, it's a business trip. And I'm here to get the money. And I love that. I love that so much, because some people get blinded by their feelings and don't get to the end. But Sandra's done it, you know. Sandra's done it more than once. That's for sure. And Cara Maria, I don't know if she's won before. You guys are going to have to tell me there. But I love the approach to the game she has, where it's business. You're stepping away from home and you're going to get the money for your family, and it's an escape from that to go get some money. I love that so much. But yeah, Leo, really nice guy, and I'm glad to see he wasn't just thrown into the elimination. He was given a lifeline with Jonna, and I just think she seems wonderful. Can't wait to see how she does as the weeks go on. But again, I feel like she's got an uphill battle, having coming in 5 episodes in after everybody else. That's a tough position to be in, but as a veteran, I'm sure she can handle it. Now, the challenge itself was pretty intense. They had to shovel, and get this dirt out the ground so they could pull these giant poles out the ground. I have a few thoughts, 3 specifically. Look at me go. CT is a tank. I said that out loud, and then somebody else said that the moments after I screamed at the TV, CT is a tank. Somebody said, I can't remember exactly who it was. Someone went, CT is a beast, and I was like, yeah, he is. I was watching him, and the way he grabbed the pole and just heaved it out the ground, you know, good for him. I like CT a lot. I'm not going to lie. Like, since Jonathan Bananas was eliminated, yes, I'm using his government name for that, and I had to put this one on today just because I wasn't here last week to break down the challenge, because we had family in town. I had to wear this in honour of Jonathan Bananas. Salute to Mr. Bananas. I found it a pleasure watching him. He is so arrogant and so full of himself, which I love. I think for a reality, I'm sure in real life that's obnoxious as hell, but in a reality TV show, oh, Mr. Bananas, you are giving us life. And I'm sad to see that he went so early. I hope that as I watch more of the challenge, I can see him make a deeper run. But without him being there in the equation, CT as the vets, he kind of has my heart. There's a few vets that I'm really warming to. Cara Maria was one. Johnny Bananas was one. I like CT a lot. I am finding myself really liking Anissa. I feel like out of all of the vets, I would get along on a personal level with Anissa the most. I would love to go drinking wine with Anissa. That's kind of how I feel there. That's always the highest compliment I can give somebody when I'm watching a TV show or reality show. I go, I want to drink wine with them. That's basically saying, yeah, that's the highest of compliments. I said it about Mickey at the beginning of this season of Big Brother, but look where we are now. I don't think I would even want to have a beer with Mickey, let alone wine. But yeah, I like CT a lot, and he is a tank. He is really a tank, the way he was pulling those poles out the ground, and then they had to move these poles to make a goal post for American football. Let me emphasize that, American football. And I absolutely love the moment where Jake, fellow Brit, turned around and was like, you know, American football, yeah, whatever. None of this American football shit. That's what he said. Football is football in the UK, and that I agree with. Of course, it's a bit of tongue-in-cheek humour, but I like that. I love that attitude. It reminded me of home. It really reminded me of home when I heard that, because that's such an attitude that us Brits have over there, where we're like, yeah, whatever, whatever you want to call that, American football. Yeah, the only football I know is the one that's played on a soccer field. Should I do my American accent? A soccer field? No, it's a football field, friends. I joke, but I did like that moment with Jake. And he paired up with Michaela. Oh, I'm telling you what, I'm loving those, because I was not really a fan of Michaela on Survivor. I think she was She's great TV. She's great TV when she's, the way she delivers her comments and the way she talks to people. But she's so rude. She's so rude, and she lacks self-awareness massively. And I feel like on Survivor, at least, the whole world revolved around her. And if people weren't laying down their lives to the game for her, she would have a problem with them. And that's just ridiculous, in my opinion. Ridiculously egotistical. But again, similar to Johnny Bananas, really entertaining to watch. But the thing about Michaela is I am really, really liking her on the challenge. I feel like she's a more mature, older Michaela. And if I'm not mistaken as well, Michaela has the most points of everybody. There's been a point system so far where, depending on where you place in the challenges week after week, you get points that are they're gonna lead to something, and we don't know yet what they're gonna lead to. I don't know have they done points before in previous seasons. I'm just going off this season, but. I don't know. See, I love doing this. It's almost like I'm chatting with a friend. That's the way I view doing these breakdowns. But yeah, I like her a lot. I think she does have the most points in the house right now, so she's doing something right, and she is so much more likable. And I don't know if it's just the way Survivor edited her or the way the challenges edited her, but I feel like I got to see her smile for the first time on the challenge. Survivor never showed her smile. They always showed her with a frowning face and her looking miserable the entire time. I don't know if that was just a younger Michaela, but now we get to see her smile, and the way she bonds with people is so wonderful. And she's becoming one of my favourites, which I never thought I would say. But go Michaela and go Jake. I really like that pair, and they ended up winning. So good on them, absolutely badass. And a reminder, Michaela won 2 challenges back to back. She won last week's and this week's. So she's definitely doing something right. Bravo to her. I am loving Michaela this season. But we need to talk, if we're going to talk about the winners, we need to talk about people who didn't do so well. And I'm talking about Ben. Oh boy. I need a breather just for a second before I even talk about this, because what was that? What was that? He tried kicking that American football, yes, American, over the goalpost into, sorry, what do y'all call it in America? Is it a field goal? Field? I don't know. Field goal? Somebody tell me. I have no clue. He tried kicking that American football over the field goal, over the goal post. I don't watch American football. I have no clue. I love rooting for the England team when the soccer's on in the UK, the World Cup, the Euros. Love it. There's no spirit like we have in England for the football team anywhere else I've seen in the world. Love it so much. So I'm going to say goal post. Goal? No, field goal. Field goal. This is becoming a different kind of update right now. But he tried so many freaking times to kick that ball over. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. And he could not get it for the life of him. And people were, saying in their confessionals, why is he aiming for the middle of the football? You got to, even I know this, you got to get your foot under the ball. And I can probably kick a soccer ball or a football better than I can kick an American football, but it doesn't take a genius, right, to realise that. And also, he's a sports commentator as well. That's what makes it even worse, that he analyses people doing this stuff and he can't even make the kick himself or figure out the technique at least. And you got to get your foot under it so you can sky it and it goes further. Because if you hit it in the middle, it's just going to go flat, or it's either just going to hit the ground and then just roll, But he didn't grasp the concept of that. But then luckily he brought in Olivia, his partner, and boom, she did it just like that. Why on earth they didn't let Olivia do it earlier on, I have no damn clue. Why they let him get 18 kicks in and not let Olivia have a crack at it was insane. But Olivia was getting stressed out in the challenge. I want to make an observation there, because what I didn't like was she was getting stressed out and kind of bossing Ben around. And I want to dig into the psychology of that, because I feel like by making your voice louder and your personality more abrasive in these situations, it makes it look like you are leading. So it makes the other person look like they are flopping. But that wasn't the case. Ben was staying calm, whereas Olivia was getting wound up. And just because you're screaming at your partner and saying, do this, it doesn't make you... Maybe it makes her feel like she's more in control, but it doesn't. It causes more stress for the team. So while it makes her look like the dominant person in the partnership, that's actually the crack. when you start getting like that and screaming at your partner. So well, she wasn't screaming, but she was getting wound up and definitely pushing Ben around. And even though Ben was disastrous there, I do feel like Ben kept it more calm, cool and collected. Even though Olivia did save the day. They were a partnership that needed each other there, because Olivia came in with the clutch, whereas Ben was able to remain calm. They definitely needed each other. But yeah, I don't know. I didn't like how Olivia got like that, because you could just tell she was trying to put herself in that power position, and it doesn't work. I felt like I could see through it. I felt like because she was getting all wound up, it doesn't necessarily mean that you're in control telling somebody what to do. It just makes it more messy, if that makes sense. Now with Olivia landing the goal, and they made it through. That was impressive. For a second it was touch and go, but the losers actually ended up being Dee and Derek Chavez. I have really not warmed to Derek Chavez. I didn't like the way he went about Justin on the first week. I haven't really gotten past that. I like Dee though. I like Dee, and I haven't really been watching a lot of New Era of Survivor. But I like Dee. I think she's great, and I think she's a badass in competitions. But it was a men's elimination this week, so Derek Chavez would end up going up against somebody, and then the vote came around. We need to talk about the vote, because I have a bone to pick with one person specifically. The vote kept going back and forth between Jeremy and Ben. I really like Jeremy. I really like Jeremy a lot. That guy is cool. He looks cool. He acts cool. He is just really cool. I like him a lot. And I wouldn't have guessed he was on The Amazing Race when I found that out. I thought maybe he'd be from I don't know. He just seems more badass. I'm not saying The Amazing Race isn't badass, but you know what I mean, folks. But yeah, he's cool. He's really, really cool, and I'm rooting for him. The whole Jane and Tarzan's alliance. Not so much a fan of the Janes, but there's a couple of the Janes I like. Sydney, I don't warm to Sydney. Sydney's great TV, but on a personal level, yeah. But I feel like she likes that. She loves to play up the villain role, and I love that for her. So go Sydney. But yeah, Jeremy was being targeted on one side, Ben was being targeted on the other, and then it came round for Gabe to vote. Gabe. This guy's a bit of a tool. Yeah, I just said that. I'm not holding back. I'll take a sip of my coffee. The man's a tool. He stood there in front of everybody on a social game and did the worst thing you can do in a social game, which was, both of these guys are my friends, so I'm going to vote myself. I've been analysing Big Brother for... it's getting on half a decade now. And there's some stupidity I see in that game. There really is. Luckily, you can't vote yourself in that game, but when somebody volunteers to go on the block or somebody volunteers to not use a power, I come down on them like a ton of bricks. In the same way I'm about to do to Gabe. Why did you vote yourself? Why? This guy does not seem to know how to play this game. I look back to the first couple of weeks where he came down on Naya as well. I don't know much about Naya, but I know that talking crap about a vet behind their back isn't a good move in the first couple of weeks. He did that, but then he made up for it. And then Naya left, and then he voted himself. And I'm just thinking, you idiot. And then the vote was a tie. The vote was a damn tie after that. And that's what happens when you vote yourself. Because then he had to vote between them anyway. He might as well have just done it in the first place. But instead, no. He had to vote one of his friends and vote himself, making himself look like even more of a tool. I was really looking forward to him as well. When I found out that he was previously on the WWE, I was like, oh yes, because myself and my partner, we both got into the WWE earlier this year, and we have been loving it. You might have seen us wearing our t-shirts with Rhea Ripley or John Cena. Like, we have really been enjoying it. So when we found out he was in the WWE, it was like, oh, okay, this guy could be cool. But time and time again, he's not proven that. And the worst part about it is, I feel like the worst is yet to come. I feel like as the weeks go on, there's going to be more blunders. And if talking crap about a vet when you haven't won any challenges yourself, and then voting yourself And this is only in the first 5 episodes. God knows what's to come for the rest of them. After the revote, Ben was sent into elimination and he would be going up against Derek Chavez. And I was thinking that's a pretty even matchup. We're going to talk about the elimination very, very soon, but I want to give some more thoughts on a couple more contestants. I'm really enjoying doing more opinion-based things on this challenge thing. You know, as far as the recap goes, we keep it light, I think, and just kind of talk about the key points of the episode, but I like to discuss and go into depth more on certain people and their games and all that kind of stuff, because especially in the earlier days, it's hard to get that concentrated view on every single person. So I'm going to start to take every single week, I'm going to take a moment to pick out a couple people and just analyze a bit of their game and analyze what's going on. First person I'm going to talk about is Turbo. I don't really warm to Turbo, if I'm being totally honest. I understand he's a vet, and I'm sure a lot of people view him as a legend. You guys are going to have to fill me in on that one, but I'm not warming to him yet. And, you know, times might change. I've definitely been that way with people on Big Brother and Survivor before, where I've gone into a season where I've heard somebody is a legend, you know, and it's taken me a minute to warm to them. And I'm like, I don't really get the hype, you know. I remember when I first watched Big Brother 2, I didn't really get the Dr. Will hype until the end, and then when he started to return for All Stars, and then he became my favourite player of all time, alongside Danielle Reyes. I have to fit that in. I can't ever say one of them. It's always Dr. Will and Danielle Reyes. And then, you know, I don't know, on Survivor, I'm trying to think of people as well. Again, Boston Rob, on his first season, I didn't get the hype, but then he came back for All Stars, then he came back for, you know, Heroes versus Villains, and then he finally got his win on Redemption Island, and then everything stacked up. Then he did Island of the Idols, and that was legend status, and then Winners at War, and I'm just like, yeah, I get it now. And then he's my favorite of all time, you know. So maybe Turbo is going to be a grower on me, and I just haven't seen it yet. But I just don't really warm to him right now. But in the preview for next week, it sounds like he and CT are going to come to blows, and because I love CT, it's going to be one of those things where I feel like it's not going to give Turbo any brownie points, at least from me. That's just one man's opinion. But I hope I warm to Turbo. Maybe I got to go back and see some of his previous seasons. But yeah, with Turbo there, I want to see more. I want to warm to him more because I don't really get the hype just yet. Second person I'm going to talk about is young Cedric. This man he's got a heart of gold. He really has a heart of gold. I thought he was lovely on Big Brother. I think he's even more lovely on the challenge. But that's the issue. That's the real issue with Cedric, because I remember in those first couple of weeks of the challenge, he was saying, I want to make more moves this time. I don't want this to be a case of Big Brother again, where I just end up going out in the pre-jury. Because he talked about the pre-jury and said, if you know anything about Big Brother, the pre-jury it's a bad rep to have been the pre-jury. And that's because he had a heart of gold in Big Brother, and he didn't make any moves. He looked for reassurance, he looked for a group to follow, and then he was swiftly shown the door. I believe, if my memory serves me correctly, he was the third evictee. He was evicted on week 3. That's pretty early to go, you know, and I wanted to see him change it up. But I am noticing him falling into the same patterns again. I'm watching him in these group settings where he just sits there and nods and smiles, and I'm thinking, Cedric, please, please, please make a move. And I can't remember who it was who brought it up last night in the jury vote, but I think somebody said, it was Theo, that's who it was. It was Theo, and Nani called him out and said, why are you saying that? And he said, there's so many vets here who've played 10 plus seasons and have never won because they're afraid to make a move. And that touched a nerve with Nani. And I don't know much about Nani, but it seems like Theo wanted to clock her for doing that, for not making any moves. And I feel like what the new threat should be doing is heeding that advice in a weird way. Even though Theo is not necessarily somebody you'd go to for advice on the challenge, it was a great bit of insight and a great bit of advice, and thinking all these people who've came back time and time and time again and have never won because they've never made a move, that makes you a lamb to the slaughter. If you're a new threat not making moves, it's automatically a shoe-in saying, okay, I'm not going to win my first season, but maybe I can come back and win the second one, third one, fourth one, fifth one, and so on. And to me, I want Cedric to make moves. Maybe he's going to do that more as the weeks go on, but I'm seeing him fall into the same patterns, and I don't want to, because I love him. I really do. He's one of my favourites. Out of all the new threats, I'm Team Big Brother. I wasn't really a big Blue fan. I wasn't a fan of her in Big Brother. I find it to be incredibly obnoxious and fake. But I think the thing with Blue is, you know, and I'm not to say, you know, she's a bad person or anything, because I don't think that's the case at all. Like, there's way worse people in this world, but I feel like she spends a lot of time in the confessional booth saying how much of a slay she is and kitty kitty purr purr, and then you watch her in the game and it's like, okay, go, give us nothing. That's why I'm not a fan of that. Whereas America, on the other hand, I feel like backs it up. I haven't really seen it yet, so I want to see more. And Cedric, again, lovely personality. His personality just carries him so far. He's socially just graceful because he can do that. But in these games, you need more than just social grace. You need strategy. And I think he needs to make those moves to establish himself more as a player. Maybe not yet, but I want to see it. But unfortunately, because of what I've seen, I feel like he's fallen into the same patterns. Prove me wrong, Cedric. I really want to see you thrive. You got this. Elimination came around and it was Ben versus Derek Chavez, a vet versus a new threat. I'm not going to beat around the bush here. I'm not going to, drag this out because the elimination itself wasn't dragged out. Derek Chavez, he gave Ben a beat down. He gave Ben an absolute beat down. It was over like that. It was a hall brawl with a twist. I love the hall brawl, by the way. I want to see more of that. Wow. Derek Chavez trampled him. Absolutely trampled him. Well done, Derek Chavez. You live another week. And Ben is out. I have an admiration for Ben. He's a broadcaster. And in a similar way, why I loved Rick Devens on The Edge of Extinction on Survivor. I like him a lot because I see a bit of me in him. I have a passion for broadcasting as well. I have a passion for entertainment and commentary, and when I see somebody in the game or any kind of game like this, my heart kind of goes out to them in a weird way because it's not, it's not in a weird way. It's because I feel a kinship, somebody who's following kind of a similar passion in life. It's not the exact same thing, but I like Ben. I feel like I would really get along with him on a personal level. I feel like we would be friends, and I'm going to miss him. I really am. He didn't do a lot this season, of course, as a lot of new threats don't do on the challenge, as is what I'm gathering, but he might come back, and I really hope he does. TJ said we hope to see you back soon. I hope so. I like him a lot. I want to see his personality build. I want to see him become a challenge legend or somebody who is regularly there, and to me, just what he does in life and the way he approaches it, I see a lot of similarities in the guy, and that's very, very cool to me. He follows broadcasting. I believe he's bisexual as well, just like me, and I salute to him. He's similar to me. So Ben, I'm going to miss you, but well done, Derek Chavez. You crushed that. Even though I'm not a big fan of you, you crushed that. Maybe you're growing on me ever so slightly, and we'll see as the weeks go on. But yes, commiserations, Ben, and well done to Derek Chavez. That is all of your challenge breakdown for today, folks. I thoroughly hope you all enjoyed watching. Really enjoying this season. Really, really am. I enjoyed the format of doing the video like this today. I feel like the past couple of weeks, I've enjoyed it, but I feel like I've been doing almost like full transparency with you guys, because I do like to have these videos as if you're chatting with a friend, so I felt like it was a bit like this happened, then this happened, then this happened, and I feel like I wasn't really getting my thoughts and opinions in there like I do with my Big Brother videos a bit more. So I thought I'd get into the nitty gritty a bit more this week and pick out key points, give my opinions on it. I would love to hear some feedback in the comment section if you guys have any advice as to where you want to see these videos go, because this is brand new to me doing the challenge, and any advice, I would love to hear what you guys want from me with these kind of videos. We can help build these videos together, and that would really mean the world to me. If you enjoy this format, please let me know in the comment section below. But I hope that you're all having a great week. I really do. And if you're interested in Big Brother this season, I know a lot of you guys are. I'm going live tonight, 1 hour before the show, 1 hour before the Eastern time, to chat all things Big Brother and just hang out before the show. So if you're looking for something to do there, I hope to see you at the live video. But thank you so much for watching, everybody. I appreciate every single last one of you. If you haven't hit the like button, please remember to hit it on your way out. It would mean the world to me. But I hope that you're all staying safe, staying positive, and staying healthy out there. And remember to be kind to one another. But in the meantime, please don't forget to like, share, comment, subscribe, do all of that wonderful stuff. But until your next challenge breakdown, I've been your host, Tom VASEY. Good night.